let it be known eternally that I don't pull my punches on any of these outlets. I don't pull it on CBR. I would criticize CBR openly. Usually they're deserving of criticism. And I'll give them praise when deserved. I'll do the same for Kotaku. I'll do the same for IGN, so on and so forth. I take this article from Bounding into Comics, even though I think Bounding does really good work, I'm criticizing this article. Because I think Bounding took what was said here and mixed it up. They are technically right with what was said, but they're making it sound like it's going to be a thing. When in reality, I don't think we're going to get what is said. Netflix Wednesday creators say they're open to future lesbian relationship between Wednesday and Enid. Sometimes characters reveal themselves. Well, that's not the whole thing. What was said was more actually pretty well done. It is kind of the mixing of the words to say, well, we might, but probably not. And, sometimes fans and people like that, they mislead you and we might do it, but we'll probably not. But just keep an open mind. That's what it was. It was, it was that Hollywood jargon when they say, oh, maybe, probably, more than likely not, but maybe, not outright saying no, but saying no. And I think that's right. I think that's good. And we'll get into what they said, but I'm not going to read through this entire article, but there's points in here that I didn't even know. Because I actually really liked Wednesday. I did. I thought Wednesday was fun. I don't think it's the greatest thing ever. I have tons of complaints. A lot of politically correct dialogue. Discussions about pilgrims, taking land, things of that nature. Some issues here or there. It's very Zoomer. Like, characters are Zoomer. So when you get moments all throughout this where people, in this article, where I'll criticize Bounding on Comics, I will genuinely criticize them for some things that they said here. I think that I think people saying that the show is uber woke and bad haven't actually watched it. Because even the woke elements kind of work with the show and it kind of is okay. And let's get into it. The two creators, Al Go and Miles Miller, who many may recognize as the creative team behind the long-running Superman prequel series Smallville, really good show, and I think they did really good here, spoke to the Jenna Ortega played Wednesday's potential lesbian future during a recent post-premiere interview given to The Hollywood Reporter. I'm not going to read through everything they said, but they said some actually kind of touching stuff that I agree with. I think you can do this, and I think they hit it on the head. What comes next? We want to sort of explore and sort of complicate. We want to sort and explore and sort and complicate all those relationships going forward. The school was closed when they left, which gave us the most possibilities for season 2. And I think that's something that we're excited to explore, he explained. For us, the show also is really about this female friendship, with Wednesday and Enid really being at the center of that. And that is true. Wednesday and Enid's relationship, friendship, buddies, they grow close, they have fights, their relationship in a sense, and I'm using the friendship, not fucking scissoring. I'm doing this way because it also feels weird to say that about these characters that are basically playing high schoolers, is the center of the show. It is one of the big points of the show. It is how Wednesday is growing. They grow together. They become different together. They become different for each other. Their friendship actually helps each other. One of the big plot points throughout the show is Enid is a Lycan. She has to be able to become a werewolf, actually. She can't. And a huge part that's kind of crazy but kind of works is that her mom and dad want to send her to Lycan conversion camp to help her change. She doesn't want to do it. She wants to do it naturally. And she stands up to her parents that she has, well, to her mom, who's very overbearing. Enid is a good character. They do some crazy stuff that I don't agree with, but I see what they're doing and it kind of works. And Enid's actually possibly my favorite character in the show. Wednesday's cool too, but Enid has this bubbly energy that you think would go with Wednesday's dark energy, like water and vinegar, or oil and vinegar, whatever the term is. I think it's oil and water, whatever. You don't think they should be working well together. Like, you can see it just in this picture. Smiley, bubbly energy, bright lights, colors, everything. And Wednesday, dark, monotone colors, black, all this kind of dark, never smiling, this stuff. It works. Enid becomes more confident and more persevering because of Wednesday. Wednesday becomes more open, and at the end, even the showrunners admit it, the end, one of the biggest growing points for Wednesday is she hugs somebody. That was Wednesday's arc. Wednesday's arc was to finally hug somebody, was to finally make a friend that she cares about. That was the arc for the show. There's other things that happened in the show, but that was a big growing point for Wednesday's character. And I liked it. I don't want them to be... But you can't have that in this world now, can you? You can't have same-sex people just be friends. Nope. People have to come out and go like, why aren't they fucking scissoring? Why are these two dudes that are best friends, why aren't they making out? Well, because they're Sam and Dean Winchester and they're brothers. We can't have this. This fanfic shipping world won't allow for people to just be friends. And like I said, I'm going to criticize Bounding on the Comics because you get right here when they're talking about Enid, portrayed by actress Emma Myers, who I think is wonderful, and sporting Harley Quinn-esque pink and blue hair highlights and her platinum blonde hair. No, that's Zoomer hairstyle. This is a Zoomer cut. This is a Zoomer. These were Zoomers in this whole show. So when you take that into account, it kind of works because Zoomers do like to platinum blonde their hair and then color it. That's just a thing that happens. Enid is Wednesday's lycanthropic roommate at the aforementioned Nevermore Academy. A generally caring and supportive person. That is Enid. She is actually caring. She's supportive. She wants to grow. And one of the big conflicts in the show is she's doing all this stuff to try to become friends with Wednesday, offering all these things, and it gets too much for Enid, so Enid leaves. And when Wednesday's all by herself without Enid, she starts feeling the pain. Like, she starts realizing, hey, she actually liked Enid and kind of misses her roommate, misses her friend. They shouldn't have worked, but they did, and it was wonderful. Enid is caring and supportive. Basically, Wednesday's caring and supportive in her own way, but they're opposites. Enid distinguishes herself from the rest of the pack, pun slightly intended, of Nevermore's social elite by not only welcoming Wednesday to the school with open arms, but also standing by her throughout her investigation of series antagonist Marilyn Thorpe. It was a wonderful story, and I don't want them to be fucking scissoring. Notably, the series does not feature an explicit hint or tease of romantic feeling between Wednesday and Enid, instead showing them direct their affection exclusively towards series male cast. Yeah, because something that the showrunners get into and the creators, the fact that they really connect with audiences it has been really gratifying because they're fathers themselves. They're fathers of 4 girls put together. So both of them, I think, have 2 girls, 3 to 1, whatever. They like the fact that Enid and Wednesday are hitting with young girls because they think that they are good role models for them. They're not they're imperfect. They're not wonderful. They're not bestest ever and perfect at everything. I do think they're decent role models. I do think they're decent characters, and I do think they're decent people to look at. Enid goes through a whole change of herself. Wednesday opens up, goes through a whole change herself. Enid's is more kind of literal, becoming more determined, more self-asserting. Wednesday learning, hey, it's okay to open up. It's okay to be, you're not odd. You're a person. It's fine. So these relationships are working with each other. They're friends. They're best friends. And they point out, I think we're definitely inspired to write or find a teen girl character like this who's so rare, who's so self-confident, literal, smart, weird, and unapologetic about all those things. That is Wednesday to a T. And it works still. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it because Wednesday's imperfect. Wednesday makes major mistakes in the show and actually gets punished for them. Has consequences happen. It's fun. It's enjoyable. And it was a thrill of a story. And they point out they did this because they have kids of their own. Often teen girls can start off as an ugly duckling and they blossom into swan, whereas here, Wednesday is fully formed. Yeah. Even Wednesday's not fully formed. She's still growing. Her whole arc, as they point out, and I need to find it, they said her arc is literally her learning how to hug. That was her arc. And I agreed. But now we're going to get into the meat of this. Having broached the topic of Wednesday's friendships, partially the ones shared between her and Enid, Pina turned to the discussion of shipping happening within the series. Online fandom asking, some users online are even hoping that Enid and Wednesday are in-game. Were you going for that at all at any point? Or did you want to solely focus on their friendship? Man, I looking at Enid there with her smile and everything, it gives me joy because she's such a wonderful, fun character. I mean, look at her multiple nails. They actually extend because she's part wolf. To this, Miller replied, as Al said, this idea of sisterhood is key to the show. Sisterhood. Yes, friendship. This idea of sisterhood. This idea of teens growing up. Because also there's dudes that are having mistakes. They're not perfect. There's a couple dudes that, need to man up a little bit. But they're also imperfect. Before considering, we're not going to discount anything. And obviously sometimes characters reveal themselves, which is the fun thing we love about television. That it's an organic journey. What I'm seeing here is it might happen, probably not, especially with what they say next. We have a roadmap. They have a plan. Okay, they want to get here, 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 and here. And we'd like to have routes along the map that take you in unexpected directions. That's perfectly fine. Sometimes a little mix-up is okay. Sometimes little things happen. Let's not make them lesbians, though. And I don't think they will because, we're open to everything. We want to explore that friendship in every way. But we're not going to be, this is where you sometimes get misdirected by fans and things like that. This is where you sometimes get misdirected by fans and things like that. That's the key phrase there, and I didn't highlight it right, but that's the key phrase there. That is the moment. That phrase there is when they say, hey, things will happen. Random things are going to happen. We're not going to discount anything. But shipping isn't a part of it. What I see there is the line, the saying, hey, we see what you guys are doing and we don't want to do that. We want to go a different route. The sisterhood is important. Their friendship is important. Their friendship is key. Their friendship helps show the growth of both characters and what they will ultimately become. I like that. I like how they're going. Now, if they do end up becoming lesbians and just shoehorn that in for no apparent reason, I'll have heavy criticisms for everything. Because so far, I'm liking the show. This is where some misdirected from the fans like that. So it's just being really open to see how those characters develop and that friendship, as Al said, The friendship is key to our sort of vision of the show. The friendship is key. The friendship is key. The sisterhood, the friendship, the key to the show. Bounding. You're right. Technically, they did say, hey, sometimes characters reveal themselves. Sometimes random things are going to happen. Just because that's how the show works. But they have a roadmap. They don't mind diversions. But as I said, the friendship is key. The sisterhood is key. Them bouncing off of each other, learning to grow. I mean, you can tell they're completely different just from this picture right here. Enid, smiling, colors everywhere. Wednesday, glaring, scowling, no colors at all. That was the point of even the Harley Quinn-esque hairdo, was to be the contrast to Wednesday, and yet both of them work with each other and make each other grow because they have aspects that the other one needs a little more of. I don't see them ever fucking scissoring, as Az would say it. I see them staying close friends forever because they do need each other. They required each other. Wednesday needed her to open up more. She needed Wednesday to be more assertive and more dominant, and not in the bad way, but because she was such a shy little girl who didn't know how to do anything or say anything. So Wednesday helped push her there. Wednesday assisted her where she needed it. She assisted Wednesday where she needed it. I've said that over and over, but it was fine. You don't need a lesbian romance because the online people say you need it. And Bounding, they did say, oh, we might, but they also said probably not. So with that, guys, if you liked Wednesday, leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you think they'll become lesbians? Because I sure as hell don't. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Share it out with your friends. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video go live. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.